What if I told you that every single night, your brain physically shrinks? Not metaphorically, not a little. It actually gets smaller. And if it doesn't, you slowly go insane. We've all been told sleep is important. Drink water, exercise, sleep 8 hours. You've heard it 1,000 times. But nobody ever told you why sleep matters at a biological level. And the real answer? Scientists only figured it out in 2013. For centuries, doctors noticed something strange. People who didn't sleep became paranoid, confused, violent. After 11 days without sleep, a person will begin to hallucinate. After longer, they die. But why? What was actually happening inside the skull? Here's the problem. Every organ in your body has a cleaning system. It's called the lymphatic system, basically a drainage network that flushes out waste. Your liver has it, your lungs have it, your muscles have it. But for 200 years, scientists believed the brain had nothing. No pipes, no drainage, no cleaning crew. The brain was considered completely isolated. But your brain is the most active organ in your body. It burns 20% of your entire energy supply. And like any engine that burns fuel, it produces waste. Toxic proteins, metabolic byproducts, cellular garbage. If that waste built up in your liver filters it out. But in your brain, where does it go? In 2013, a neuroscientist named Maiken Nedergaard at the University of Rochester made one of the most important discoveries in brain science in decades. She found a hidden system, a network nobody had ever seen before, right there in the brain. This whole time, she called it the glymphatic system. Here's how it works. Your brain is surrounded by fluid, cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF. Think of it like a river flowing around your brain. Normally, this fluid just kind of sits there, but when you fall asleep, something wild happens. The cells in your brain actually shrink by up to 60%. That's not a typo, 60%. And when they shrink, gaps open up between them, like cracks forming in dry earth. And through those cracks, the cerebrospinal fluid rushes in, like a flash flood through a canyon. It surges through your brain tissue, sweeping up all the toxic waste proteins that built up during the day. The garbage gets flushed out through channels alongside blood vessels and carried away from the brain entirely. And here's where it gets terrifying. One of the main things it flushes out is a protein called beta amyloid. You've probably never heard of it, but you've definitely heard of the disease it causes when it builds up. Alzheimer's. In every Alzheimer's patient ever studied, researchers found massive buildups of beta amyloid plaques in the brain. For decades, nobody knew why it accumulated. Now we do. The glymphatic system wasn't cleaning it out fast enough, or the person wasn't sleeping enough for it to do its job. Scientists tested this directly. They took mice and kept them awake. After just one night without sleep, beta amyloid levels in the brain increased dramatically. One night. After several nights, the toxic buildup was severe. Think about what that means for humans. Every all-nighter you've ever pulled, every time you slept 5 hours to grind harder, every time you said, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," you were letting poison accumulate in your brain. And here's the kicker. The glymphatic system is almost completely off when you're awake. It only activates during sleep, deep sleep specifically. So you can't compensate with coffee. You can't make up for it with a nap. Your brain only cleans itself in the dark when you're unconscious. But it gets weirder. Nedergaard's team also discovered that how you sleep changes how well the cleaning works. Sleeping on your side, specifically your right side, appears to make the glymphatic system significantly more efficient than sleeping on your back or stomach. And here's what's fascinating about that. Scientists studied wild mammals, lions, dogs, horses, elephants. Most of them, when they rest deeply, instinctively curl to one side. Did evolution build a sleeping position into us to maximize brain cleaning? That question is still being studied. Now, you might be thinking, I sleep 8 hours, I'm fine. Not necessarily. Alcohol is one of the most effective disruptors of the glymphatic system ever identified. A glass of wine might help you fall asleep, but it wrecks the deep sleep stage where brain cleaning actually happens. You sleep 8 hours, but your brain barely cleaned itself. and the implications go beyond Alzheimer's. Researchers are now finding connections between poor glymphatic function and depression, anxiety, PTSD, and schizophrenia. Think about that. Mental illness, physical brain waste, inadequate cleaning. The link between sleep and mental health isn't just rest makes you feel better. It's mechanical, chemical, literal garbage in your skull. This reframes everything. Sleep isn't passive. You're not just lying there doing nothing. While you sleep, your brain is running a full industrial cleaning operation. Maintenance, waste disposal, toxic clearance. You are a biological machine that requires shutdown time to self-clean. And we only discovered this in 2013. For all of human history, from ancient Egypt to the space age, we had no idea this system existed. It was hiding in plain sight, inside every skull, every night. So what kills the glymphatic system? Alcohol, blue light before bed, stress hormones like cortisol, sleeping on your back, chronic sleep restriction. All of these don't just make you tired. They leave toxic waste sitting in your brain, day after day, year after year. And what helps it? Consistent sleep timing. A cool, dark room, no alcohol within 3 hours of sleeping, side sleeping, and most importantly, enough hours to reach deep, slow-wave sleep. But here's the question that's keeping neuroscientists up at night. Ironically, if the glymphatic system is so critical to brain health, why did evolution make it only work during sleep? Why not run it continuously? Why force the brain offline? The leading theory is energy. Running the glymphatic cleaning process requires enormous cellular energy, but your awake brain needs that same energy to think, move, see, and survive. You literally cannot do both at once. So your brain chose, be conscious or be clean. Not both simultaneously, which raises an almost philosophical question. What is sleep really? Not rest, not recovery in the simple sense. Sleep is the price consciousness pays to exist. Every moment you are aware, thinking, feeling, being you are accumulating a debt. And every night you sleep, you pay it. Scientists are now racing to develop drugs that can activate the glymphatic system artificially. Imagine a pill that cleans your brain without needing 8 hours of sleep, or a therapy that reverses early-stage Alzheimer's by jump-starting the system. That research is happening right now. But until then, the most powerful brain-protecting tool you have is completely free. It costs nothing, requires no equipment, available to every human on Earth. And most people are doing it wrong. Remember how I said your brain shrinks every night? That shrinking isn't damage, it's preparation. Your brain is making room for the flood, voluntarily reducing itself so it can be washed clean. Here's the mind-bending part. Every genius, every athlete, every high performer throughout history who swore by their sleep routine, they didn't know about the glymphatic system, but their brains did. The body figured this out billions of years before science did. So tonight, when you lie down and close your eyes, your brain is about to shrink, flood with fluid, and wash itself clean of a day's worth of toxic waste. That's not sleep. That's maintenance on the most complex object in the known universe. Don't skip it.